is Mike LaRosa, head baseball coach at Widener University. I'm here with Figure It Out Baseball, and today just want to talk about positioning in the batter's box and how to get into an optimal position to hit. So what we want to talk about first is your foundation, where your feet are, okay? I'm a big believer in simplifying things as much as possible. The less movement, the less margin for error, and the quicker we're going to be to the ball. So it starts with the feet and just getting in proper alignment and position. Ultimately, once you get your foot down in your stride, we want these feet lined up, okay, as close as possible. That's a simple optimal position. So whether you're going to start open stance, even, or closed, ultimately once you stride and that front foot's down, we want it lined up, and now we're going to be in a good spot to hit. A lot of times what I'll see with the youth levels and guys, throughout high school that we are looking at to recruit, that have an open stance, oftentimes will land in an open position and don't recognize that they're not getting all the way closed off and into an optimal spot to hit. So what happens is they're losing the ability to hit the ball in the outer half of the plate, and they kind of become a one-dimensional pull side hitter. So I'm a big believer in just starting lined up. It's less movement, and now from there, you're in a good launch position. So to be lined up, what I mean by that is we want to have our toes in a straight line connecting. So if you can see this white line on this mat here, my toes are lined up with the front of it. So my stride foot lands, okay, I'm lined up there. I could also use the bat. If I didn't have a line down there for me, I could just put my bat down, okay? And so if I'm starting open, I want my back foot on the bat so that when I stride and land closed, my toes on my front foot is coming up to touch. And now I'm in a nice lined up position, and again, in a good place to hit. Once we get that figured out, the next thing is the hands, okay? If we can get our hands in a good spot to hit and get into the hitting zone, that's going to be half the battle. The swing, a lot of times, will be an aftermath effect of where I start. Got my feet in a good position. Now let's talk about the hand placement, okay? Once I stride and my front foot lands, I want to try and get my barrel on a nice 90-degree angle with my bottom arm, okay? That's my optimal launching position, and what it does, guys, is it allows me, once I rotate, to get on plane with the pitch. All right, so I want to get my bat head on plane with the pitch. I've made it a nice angle slot here. Once I rotate, I'm going to naturally fall into that spot. What some of the mistakes that we'll see sometimes are guys will tend to over-rotate, okay, so they're turning their front shoulder in, okay, and their arms barring, and we're getting really back behind the head here, okay? What happens from that position is there's the tendency to have to get back to the ball, and you fly open. The front shoulder is the first thing that goes, and now it becomes really hard to get the bat head into the zone and to stay on the ball. Or we have the opposite. So we have guys that don't rotate at all and are kind of, even, or even in this type of a position once their front foot hits. And what happens from here is we do what I call a barrel dump. So the barrel just kind of dumps back here, and now that barrel is really going to be dragging into the zone. So if we want to be quick to the zone, once that front foot hits, this is the nice launch position I want to be in. The next thing we want to be conscious of in this position is you notice the angle of my barrel, okay? So we don't want to be too far up, we don't want to be too far down either, okay? So what will happen with guys that are too far up like this is, again, that barrel is going to dump, we call it, so it's going to be real long into the zone, and they're going to have a hard time getting to the pitch down in the zone, because what's going to happen is either that barrel is going to dump, they're going to be too long, or they're going to feel like they have to catch up to it, and they're going to chop down on it. They're going to be real steep to the ball. So that pitch down on the zone, you see guys with this type of barrel here really beating the ball into the ground. Conversely, ones that are more level here, okay, they're going to really struggle with the pitch up in the zone. They're going to have trouble getting the barrel up to the ball because of where they're already starting, and once they drop to get on plane, they're going to be really, really steep on the other direction, and they're going to have a tough time getting that barrel back up. So that's why the optimal position is that nice 90-degree angle with the hand and bat. Okay, we want that bat, 45-degree here. Okay, so now I'm in a good spot regardless. And the last point with the hands is the optimal place to start once your front foot hits is you want those hands in line with the top of the shoulder or slightly above it, okay? That's going to be a nice launching position. Guys that are below the shoulders are going to struggle and really fight themselves to get that barrel into the zone, because once they connect and get on plane, they're having to do all the work. The barrel is not doing the work for them. A lot of times there's weight in this barrel head, okay? We want the weight of the bat to do the work for us. So we're down here, we're having to really work hard to pull the bat head through the zone, okay? Which is why this is a nice position, because once you get slotted, meaning once you get on plane, barrel head's gonna do a lot of the work for you. Also, you see guys sometimes too high, okay? And what happens with that is guys that are too high, that's just more time to get to the ball, okay? So as I mentioned earlier, I like to simplify. The more movement we can cut out, the better. Once you're real high, you got to get back to this position anyway before we can go to the ball anyway. So that's just that split second of you got some velocity that you're facing. It's going to be tough to get to the ball. So if we can be in this nice spot, okay, you got your hands right in line with the top of the shoulder, slightly above, and that nice angle on the bat that we talked about, you're going to be a good place to start. So again, this is Mike LaRosa, head coach at Widener University, and this video was on just getting in the optimal hitting position before you start your swing. Hope you watch my next video, which we're going to take to the next step to start the swing and get the ball, the bat to the ball.